All the fire departments went there, but it was just a lost cause. And our heart is really broken, and we feel for the Daly family. We really hope and pray that they're going to rebuild.
The community of St. Mary's in Newfoundland coming to terms with the loss of a fish processing plant, which burned to the ground last night during a fierce storm. It had operated for decades and was the largest employer in the region during peak season. About 20 residents were evacuated overnight as fire crews battled the blaze, while the town was battered by 170 kilometer-an-hour winds. Well, Steve Ryan is the mayor of St. Mary's, Newfoundland. He joins us now live to tell us about the fire and the impact it's having on his community. Mayor Ryan, you were the first person to arrive at the scene. What was it like when you got there?
When I got there at approximately 9 o'clock, the fire was just coming through the roof of the building. And I had some hope because it wasn't too serious. And I was waiting for the fire department. They were shortly behind me. And by the time they got there, the fire just shot through the building. It just exploded. And I knew within about 10 minutes that it was not going to be able to save. The weather was too harsh of an environment for the firemen, and it's a total loss.
Yeah, we're looking at some video now, and we can just see how the fire is just consuming that building. And I just read that the wind gusts were up to 170 kilometers an hour. I mean, I would feel like you could barely stand up in that, much less try to fight a fire.
No, you couldn't. There was a lot of trouble standing up, actually. You had to try to find shelter, and they were standing behind vehicles. If you were out in the open, you were blown across the road. It's just like you see in the hurricanes down in tropics. I'm like I said, I'm a resident of this community for 54 years, and it was something I never experienced before in my life.
And so how did the community respond overnight and into the morning to this?
Well, overnight it was kind of shock, and everybody was worried about their own houses and what was going on and the weather. This morning when everybody got out and daylight came and we see what was after happening, it's just total devastation. Everybody is just, as a cloud came over our town, and we were having such success with the plant, and we had our best season that was ever there in decades. And this to happen now is just after knocking us to our knees.
Your parents worked at this plant, which I think just underscores how many generations have been connected to it. And tell us what this fish plant means to meant to St. Mary's.
This fish plant is St. Mary's. It's there over 40 years. It's the biggest employer in the whole region. People drive an hour and 15 or 20 minutes to get to it. It's really good employment. They pay very top wages for a fish plant. Like I said, my mom and dad provided for my family of 5 with food and clothing out of that plant, and that's why it's such an emotional for me. It was after me a really hard 24 hours. And
so it's only been 24 hours, but have you heard, like, is there any sense that this plant will be rebuilt?
The owners are devastated themselves. They put a lot of time and money into this, and they're still trying to figure out what's happening. And it's still too hot for the investigators to get on site. Hopefully tomorrow they'll be on site and determine what's after happening, and then it'll be turned over to I guess the owners and their insurance companies, and they'll make a decision in what they're going to do in going forward. But we hope that they do decide to stay in our town. They're great corporate citizens. They're after becoming family to us. And we really hope that they decide to stay, and we will totally support them, and the provincial government will support them in getting everything back to hopefully bigger, better than ever.
Steve Ryan is the mayor of St. Mary's, Newfoundland. I'm sorry this happened to your community, Mayor Ryan, and I hope it rebuilds. Thank you.
Thank you for the concern in our small town.